Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining me for today's program. We have many things to cover today, including learning about a new practice management software called Clarity. And we're going to be joined by Frank Stitely from Chantilly, Virginia, and he's going to talk about the new product. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But before we get into that, I need to share some new information, and we have a lot of things to talk about. So first thing is about enrolled agents. So this year's enrolled agent renewal cycle is finished. And so the IRS is now beginning their annual cleanup for those who have Social Security numbers ending in 0, 1, 2, or 3, and who did not renew. Those who did not renew during that period, your cycle will be now moved to the terminated status. Those who did not renew just during 2019 will be moved to the inactive status. And letters will be going out this week from the IRS to those individuals who had the designation of enrolled agent who did not comply. Now, anyone who is currently in the inactive status and said, whoops, maybe I just forgot to do this, can submit a late renewal for approval. However, with that late renewal, you must include the CPE credits that you earned during that period to make sure that you qualify for your license. Now, anyone terminated, now you're going to have a little more difficult time. You're going to have to go through the beginning process and retake the EA exam. So hopefully we don't have anyone that fits into that little basket, and so that everybody will be up to date. Now, if you disagree with the EAs or with the letter that you receive, there's a phone number in the letter that you can contact to make sure and to follow up. Now, first off, next thing I want to thank the Deputy Controller, Sharon Barnardi, and her team for taking the time to meet with the MSA TP Legislative Delegation yesterday. We had a great 2-hour meeting down in Annapolis, and we covered many, many issues. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is the new Controller Maryland website. And this website will be launched in late December of 2019. Now, it's a whole new redesign project, and it will improve the layout, the user experience, and the compliance features. Now, before the launch of this new website, the Controller's Office is going to hold a series of focus groups. They're going to do a tax practitioner focus group and a tax preparer focus group. Tax practitioner and a taxpayer focus group. Now, for the focus group for the practitioners, they're going to be meeting in Annapolis for about 2 hours. They're going to set up a lab. So this is something that you're not going to be doing at your office. You're going to be going to Annapolis and doing it. Okay, and they need some help with this. Now, they're going to be looking for help after October 15th. So don't, be worried that you're going to have to be doing this right during the time that you'll be filing returns. So it's going to be after October 15th. Now, if you're interested in participating in this focus group, you'll have to go to a Survey Monkey, and I think we're going to be showing that information either in the comments section, and we'll give you the link, and where you can link right to the area in which you can register. Now, I registered yesterday, and it asked about 4 questions tops. It took me 2 minutes to complete, and so it's really easy peasy. So all they're doing is gather your name, how you use the website, and your email address, and that's it. And then they're going to be reaching back out to you. So if you're interested in being on the practitioner focus group, please take the time and register. Now, we also heard from the compliance and the taxpayer assistance people. Now, we had a lot of information about that. So down in the comment section, you're going to see a listing of the sheets with the phone numbers for both of these groups. This is great information that you need to keep right beside you in your drawer at your desk, because they gave emails, phone numbers, addresses. So it was very nice for them to share that information with us. So make sure that you take a look at that. Now, I know we talked about this last year, or maybe earlier this year, about the new Compass platform in which the controller is putting together that encompasses all the tax departments. And right now, as you can imagine, they're a little behind, about 6 months, not really bad stuff. So the new platform now probably will not be launched until 2020. And they're going to be starting with the alcohol tax. because they decided to do the alcohol tax because the alcohol tax totally is still a manual process. It's not one bit of it is automated. So they're going to be looking at that. And actually, we will not need any volunteers to do beta testing for that part because they're going to be reaching out to the alcohol division to get volunteers on that. However, that's like a 1A. Then they're going to do a 1B, which is going to be about the corporations. So once they get the alcohol tax process started, they're going to be reaching out to us for some beta testers for the corporation aspect, for Maryland corporations. So that's something that you might want to keep in mind. And if you're interested, just drop me an email, and that way I can share your information with the controller's office that you'll be considered to be a beta tester. Now, everyone knows and I'm assuming has seen that new draft of the W-4. Now, I had the opportunity to hear the commissioner from the IRS, and he said that they got comments, and MSA TP did send in comments concerning the new W-4. And they're going to take in all those comments, and they're going to come out with another version. Now, apparently, the new completed version is going to be available come October. Now, what does that mean? Well, what that means is that you're going to you can begin using that new W-4. But the commissioner from the IRS knows that, this is not going to be an easy process. So they're also going to be allowing you to use the old version of the W-4 for the first few months. So you're going to have both of them going parallel. So which is, I think, is a great idea. Now, what does that mean in Maryland? So it's my understanding from our meeting yesterday that because of the changes to the W-4, that we're also going to see that changes to the MW-507. So we do not know what those changes are going to be, how detailed they are, or what it's comprised of. So we're just going to have to keep an eye out for that one. So like I said, do not be surprised. And again, that will be out later in the fall, probably in late November. Now, also, because of a bill that passed in the 2019 legislative session, you're going to see 2 new additional questions on your 502 form this year for 2019. So the questions are concerning your the health insurance. Pretty much resembles a little bit of what you're seeing on the IRS. It's going to ask you, does everybody in the family have health insurance? And you're going to click a box for each individual one. And if you do not, would you be interested in getting information about the health insurance program? So that question is going to be not only is who is involved and also their birth dates. Now, from that point in, that is all you're going to see for 2019. Now, 2020 might be a different story. We might see additional questions from the responses that they're getting from the 2019 tax returns. Now, so because of that, they have put together a workforce to help look at this whole issue and the process and the questions to be asked on the 2020 tax return and the 2019 and what data they want to capture. Thankfully, there was an application process, and a few of our members, myself included, who has applied to be on that workforce. I just received notification on Thursday that I have been accepted to be on that workforce. So again, your voice will be heard. And if you have any comments concerning this issue, please do not hesitate to send them to me because, like I said, our first meeting with the workforce will be in early September. So if you have any thoughts, please share them with me so I can take them to the table. Now, we had a wish list when we went down and met with the state. And the wish list was about portals. We all would love to have some portals to make that process of sharing information a little easier, as well as the electronic filing of the Maryland 504 fiduciary form. This is going to happen, but the bad part of this is actually on the last part of the releases on this new Compass platform. So we won't see this for a few years, but at least there is on the radar and it is going to see happen. Now, the next thing is, which I thought was kind of interesting, is the state of Maryland is going to be working with the University of Baltimore about offering a free Maryland income tax class. And I thought this was a great idea. So what they're going to do, they actually use this in the house themselves for when they bring in some new employees into the state of Maryland to get them up to speed on the tax laws in Maryland. Again, this is Maryland specific. So they have actually opened up this class to the practitioners. So if you're looking at possibly hiring a new person in your office come the fall, and you need to get them up to speed, we do many 1040 classes and tax classes on the federal level, and we do some Maryland classes as well. But usually these are a little bit of updates. This is actually a more detailed class, really looking at all the subtraction modifications, all the additional modifications, all those little weird things that you see on the Maryland return. And so again, we will getting some additional information on this, and this will be offered in the fall. Excuse me. And so if you're looking to hire some new people and you really like to get them up to speed on the Maryland law, this might be something that you might want to send them to. Now, I know I shared a lot of information with everyone. And like I said, I want to again thank the state of Maryland with meeting with us yesterday, and also to thank the volunteers who went down to the controller's office with me to meet with them. Like I said, it was a great meeting. Excuse me, I have a little tickle. So at this point, right now, I'm going to bring in Frank. And Frank is actually has a CPA practice in Chantilly, Virginia, and has been a firm owner for how many years, Frank? How many years you been a firm owner?
30 long tax seasons, Andy.
30 long years. There you go. It went by in a flash, right?
Yes, it did.
Right. So Frank is joining us as in an audio this afternoon, so which is great. So hopefully everybody can hear him. And if not, I guess I'll get a thumbs up or something from someone or a comment. So Frank, I know that you put together a new product called Clarity Practice Management. Can you give us a little bit of overview about the product?
Thanks, Sandy. Clarity Practice Management is a cloud-based product for accountants and tax preparers that combines project management, client communications, and staff collaboration all in one package. What we hope to do for accountants and tax preparers is help them better serve their clients, work more efficiently, and hopefully make a lot more money. I think we all know how challenging the environment is getting with commoditization and pressure on fees.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I know you use this in your practice, and I know you've been using it for a while. So what have you found has been the greatest benefits and features of the product that, it's like, wow, this is really helping my bottom line?
Well, I'm certain almost anybody who's in the tax prep business experiences situations where you're asking clients for information and they don't provide it. So then you got to pick up the phone or send them an email, wasting time over and over again. One of the things that Clarity Practice Management does is it automates these routine communications with clients so that you can spend your time on more proactive communications, tax planning, and things that are more of a value add to your clients than just routine emails and phone calls.
Well, that's great. I mean, like you said, it's amazing, if you have, just say, 15, 20 clients that you have to contact, that time adds up. It really does. People don't think about that. But, when you start making those phone calls, so I'll tell you, that would be a great time savings for a lot of firms if they could use that, to utilize that little product. So now if a person decides to purchase the software, how do I get the information from, where it is in my QuickBooks file? If I have another practice manager, how is that imported into the Clarity product? And, what kind of assistance will your people be able to give us?
When a user signs up for either a free 30-day trial or signs up as a subscriber to Clarity Practice Management, we provide them with a template where they can copy and paste from their current system all of their information into the template, and then we can pull it into Clarity Practice Management. If that's too big a task to accomplish, you can call us, and on a one-on-one basis, we'll walk you through the process of getting the information out and into the template so that we can get it into Clarity.
Oh, wow. Okay. So let's just go back to with that beginning sentence. So anyone could actually try it for free for 30 days.
Yes.
That's wonderful. That's great. So they can test the waters before they take the full dive into the ocean. That's great. So how is this? Is this a cloud-based product, or what are we looking at?
It is a cloud-based product. It's browser accessible. works with all the major browsers. You can work anytime, anywhere. In fact, in our CPA firm, we have clients everywhere. If there's a state income tax, we have a client there. So it makes it easy to work with clients who maybe might leave you if you moved. You can keep them from leaving you, or you can work with remote staff.
Oh, okay. And you know, when I looked at the demo with you, what I thought was interesting is you know, it's not like QuickBooks. You actually can be in the same client file at the same time. Is that, if I recall correctly, is that right?
That is absolutely correct.
Right. Which I thought was very nice. So it's more of a collaborative product, whereas you can actually be looking at the same client at the same time and actually do it. Like you said, you could be on your boat and I could be in the office behind my desk slave driving, you know, because you're the boss. And we could be collaborative doing those same work at the same time.
That's exactly correct.
That's great. That's great. Now, I know, I mean, like I said, I looked at the demo. And what kind of costs are we looking at for this? And what kind of discounts can our members expect if they're interested?
Well, first of all, cost is based on a per active user per month basis. And it's set up on tiers. So for the first 20 users, our cost is $50 per user per month. And you're only paying for the users who are active. So if you have part-time staff who only work during tax season, you only pay for them during tax season. During tax season, you can take them off the system.
Oh, okay. So it's not like you're going to pay for them year round. If you have, you know, just seasonal employees, you can turn it on and off as needed.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, great.
And we have a really special offer for MSA TP members. As I'm certain you know, I've been a long-time MSA TP member for probably at least 25 years. So we are offering 10% off the normal per user seat cost of Clarity Practice Management for MSA TP users, and we would like them to give us the code MSATP when they sign up.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. Oh, well.
It's a secret code for you guys only.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. And I know our membership appreciates that too. I mean, that's a great savings. Thank you so much for that. Now, I know before we got started, I know you do some demos, and I believe it's on Wednesdays. Are you still doing that?
Yes, it's every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and it normally lasts about 45 minutes.
Okay. And so if we have some viewers who are interested in viewing a demo, how do they get hooked up with that?
The way to register for a demo, or the quickest way to register for a demo, is to go directly to our website, claritypracticemanagement.com.
Okay.
And they will see a link for the demo.
Okay.
Give us a little bit of information that lets us register you and pick your time.
Okay.
That's all there is to it.
Now, if I want to actually practice with the product, and would I go to that same website to download the demo piece?
Yeah, you sign up for a free trial on the website.
As well.
That gives you 30 days. We do not give you just a blank system and hope you learn how to set it up and everything like that. We give you some workflows, some project types. And in addition, we support you with a YouTube channel that has a lot of short training videos that are 5 to 7 minutes.
Right. Well, the other thing I liked about it was that the products also includes a lot of templates that you guys have already gone through. Being a CPA firm and being in the practice for over 30 years, I mean, you've seen, you know what to use, and you know what they're looking for. And that's what I liked about it, is that you're able to share that information with us through templates, which I liked a lot as well.
And then as people get used to the system and decide they want to customize it more, they can go to our YouTube videos and see how to customize all the client notifications and emails that go out, how to customize it for their own workflow, or maybe they have projects that we don't have templates for.
Right. Well, I'm just going to throw a thought out, and this is probably be great. So I know that you guys are going to be joining us up at the Solo and Small Firm Conference up in Hershey. So it would be if you're thinking about a plan on whether or not to proceed with this, I mean, it would be smart for the person to download the demo, play with it with a little while, actually join the demo demonstration with you on Wednesday, and then actually they could come up to the Hershey, do the solo conference at Hershey on November 8th through 10th, and you'll be there and you could help, talk about it and answer any questions they may have. And then they'll be ready for tax season.
I think that's a fabulous idea. That's a great time to get started, as you're not too far before tax season, but you still get some chance to get set up and running. And of course, I'll be there for any and all questions that anybody has.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just a nice plan, nice pace. And that way they can play with it a little while, see it, you know, while you view it, and then actually come and see some questions and actually get the answers directly from directly from you, Frank. That's great. Well, thank you, Frank, for joining us today. I really appreciate your time. And I know that, you know, like, again, I saw it. And actually, you were at the IRS forum with us down in DC. And I heard some great things down there as well. So it looks like this might be a real plus and a real opportunity, not only for you personally, but also for the society members with this great discount.
Thanks, Sandy. I can't tell you how excited we are to be working with the MSA TP.
Thank you. Now, next week, everyone, we will be back at our 9 o'clock time, and we will be joined by Tim Stramstrom of the Gear Up Tax Seminars. Tim will be talking a little bit about what we're going to be seeing from Gear Up in the fall on the courses that we'll be offering, because we've expanded our programs with them. We actually have 2 new topics that we're going to be working with Gear Up on. So if you haven't had a time or would like to hear a little bit about these programs, make sure you join in next week at 9 o'clock a.m. And again, I'm going to keep saying this until September 15th. If you have clients who will qualify for that Maryland credit for student debt, remember you have until September 15th to apply. Remember, this is a credit you must apply in advance, and it's nothing that you do on your taxes during tax season. This is an application process, and you have to have it applied, and you have to do it by September 15th. So again, if you have any clients that fit in, or if you have family members, this is a great opportunity. It's a great benefit, and you don't want to pass it up. So until next time, everyone have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next Thursday.